Hello, and welcome to The Reckoning: Iran, Israel, America, and War. This podcast explores the relationships among these countries and the events that led to war in 2026. Crossroads of Hate is a 5-part series that examines Western influences on Iranian anti-Semitic propaganda. This has been part of Iran's information warfare against both Israel and the United States. The author is Mark Silinsky. This is the second episode in the series. It begins by examining the most notorious and enduring hoax in the history of anti-Semitism and the most targeted Jewish family. From there, it turns to blood libel and jinns, protocols of the Elders of Zion and the Rothschilds. The Protocols of the Elders of Zion is among the most notorious and enduring hoaxes in history. In turn-of-the-century Russia, the Tsar's intelligence service published an account of an alleged global Jewish conspiracy. According to the protocols, Jews convened an extraordinary congress in Basel, Switzerland, in 1897 to plan for global domination. Its first print run appeared in Paris in the early 20th century, and it became a sensation. The protocols were republished after World War I and again during the Great Depression of the 1930s. Henry Ford published parts of it as The International Jew in a newspaper he controlled in Michigan. The Nazi Party's philosopher, Alfred Rosenberg, quoted passages from the protocols in his writings. In 1934, Hitler made the protocols required reading in German schools. The protocols' enduring power was evident in 1993, when the Russian anti-Semitic newspaper Pamyat was embroiled in a libel suit over the text's validity. Though much of the protocols reads like a penny dreadful Victorian-era novel, it perpetuated anti-Semitic stereotypes of the era. It has been translated into all major European languages, several Asian languages, Arabic, and Persian. Ayatollah Khomeini, Hitler, Sayyid Qutb, and Yasser Arafat quoted liberally from the protocols. Iranian leaders, professors, and cultural critics still do. Iranian film critic Majed Shah Husseini argued that the protocols help explain plots in Jewish-made Hollywood movies. The Persian edition of the protocols includes an introduction tailored to the Iranian reader. Iran continues to promote the protocols abroad. It markets the protocols at international book fairs, such as the Zagreb International Book Exhibition, and also distributes the book in South America. The Jewish obsession with money is an ancient Western trope, particularly the saga of the Rothschild family. They were the most reviled and lampooned Jewish family on any continent. Conservative anti-Semites saw them as undermining Christian values and authentic royalty, while leftists condemned them for exploiting the working class. The Nazis made a movie, The Rothschilds, which was a commercial success. Although the Rothschilds are no longer the world's wealthiest family, they remain targets of derision in the Middle East and Europe. Iranian international affairs expert Alireza Mehrabi explained on Iranian television that the headmasters of Wall Street are a few Zionist Jews who are descendants of the Rothschild family. Iranian university lecturer Ali Reza Karimi claims the Rothschilds plunder the world's wealth to give their family and Jews power. Some Iranians argue that the Rothschilds and other Jews organized the communist takeover of Russia for their own financial gain. Finally, many Iranians claim that the Rothschilds' ill-gotten fortunes planted the seeds of a Jewish state in Palestine. Blood libel. Another hoary theme shared by European and Iranian anti-Semites is blood libel. In 1144, an unknown assailant murdered a 12-year-old boy named William in Norwich. Without evidence, William's uncle accused the Jews of the killing. 10 years later, this blood libel led to the expulsion of Jewish communities across much of Europe. The charge was revived in Nazi Germany. The anti-Semitic publication Der Stürmer published an illustration of a German boy lying on a table, surrounded by Jews with long beards and earlocks who were sucking his blood through long tubes. In 2020, Berlin-based journalist Ahmad al-Hawass, the editor-in-chief of RisalaPost.com, claimed that Jews rejoice when they slaughter babies and dine on matzos soaked in their blood. Although blood libel is no longer a widespread theme in Europe, it remains pervasive in Iran. In 2012, Fars published an article titled "The Pilgrimage in Judaism." The article claims that Jews murder children to mix non-Jewish blood into matzah. This claim also appears on television. Jews also use Gentiles' body parts for other ritual purposes. Some Iranian-produced commentaries specify the different uses of body parts. The prominent Iranian website Aleph published an article titled, "Who Are Human History's Most Bloodthirsty People?" The extended essay, complete with footnotes, pictures, and video clips, accuses Jews of killing non-Jews for ritual purposes. Blood libel is a frequent claim in the Greater Middle East and has been endorsed as a historical fact in doctoral dissertations at universities in the Islamic world. Zara's Blue Eyes brought an updated version of the blood libel to Iranian television audiences. In the mini-series, Israeli medical scientists harvest the eyes of Palestinian children and sell them on the international market. Zara is blinded, and other Palestinian children are killed. A former official of the Iranian Education Ministry created the series, which drew a large, often young audience. In 2020, a woman recalled the impact the series had on her image of Jews when she saw it as a girl 16 years earlier. "Rich Jews stole the blue eyes of Palestinians. I thought Jews were evil people. I recall this very well. Now I have realized that this is propaganda. I still remember this." Jews as less than human, or as jinns. Racial anti-Semitism developed as a pseudoscience by twisting elements of Darwinism. According to this belief, there was a genetically ordained racial hierarchy with Northern Europeans at the top and Jews at the bottom or outside the spectrum as a cancerous agent. In Germany, the Nazis crafted theories of racial hygiene and codified this belief system into law and practice. Racial anti-Semitism began to grow in Europe in the late 19th century and reached its apotheosis in the Third Reich. This spirit was captured in Rudolf Hess's well-known slogan that Nazism was applied biology. There are related but not identical racial themes in Islam. Biological anti-Semitism is not part of Islam. However, graphic depictions of Jews in Iranian political literature, media, and cartoons show distinct, often grotesque, racial and animal-like characteristics. They are also portrayed as poisonous snakes and lizards. Iranian and European anti-Semites sometimes liken Jews to barnyard animals, or rodents. Islam holds a famous hadith, or saying of Muhammad, that recounts how Allah turned Jews into apes and pigs for not praying. In contemporary Iran, Hassan Bolkhari, a cultural advisor to the Iranian Education Ministry, explained a connection to rodents. He likened Jews to mice because both developed slyness after being ostracized by society. Iranians claim that Jews are not human, but evil spirits. Images of Jews with devil's horns and other satanic attributes are common in Iranian cartoons. In July 2010, then Iranian President Ahmadinejad said that Jews who helped found Israel were the filthiest, most criminal people, who only appear to be human from all corners of the world. In Iran, anti-Semitism can take supernatural forms, with Jews cast as evil spirits, ghosts, or wicked fairies. In Islam, jinns are harmful, malicious spirits. The Quran describes them as ghost-like beings that lead men and women astray. In Iranian popular literature, Jews are sometimes equated with jinns. Valiola Nagipurfar, a cleric and professor at Tehran University, speculated about Zionist jinns. Can jinns be put to use in intelligence gathering? He asked on national television. The Jew is very practiced in sorcery. Indeed, most sorcerers are Jews. According to Khamenei, Israel's Mossad intelligence agency has used its sorcery to attack Iran. 2 other lecturers claimed. The Israeli Mossad is officially and insistently using demons to read the other side's military thinking, to read the enemy chief of staff's plans, and to carry out intelligence operations. One Iranian commentator warned on public television that Jews are part zombie. On the festival of Purim, Jews around the world perform a zombie walk, in which they dress in costume and drink human blood. The caption on the photograph on Jam News reads, "Photo of Purim celebrations, a Jewish holiday marking the anniversary of the massacre of thousands of Iranians by the Jews who influenced King Ahasuerus." This concludes this episode of The Reckoning: Iran, Israel, America, and War. In the next episode, we will continue to examine anti-Semitic themes proffered by Iranian propaganda. Nothing in this podcast represents the official view of the United States government. Until our next podcast, thank you for listening.